The next topic in section 2.1 that we need to talk about is translation. So your book discusses expressions to describe authentic quantities, but I'm not going to discuss authentic quantities in the same manner. I'm going to do translation of English algebraic expressions, and then I'll use a bunch of different scenarios such as real-world examples describing authentic quantities, tables, and then simple translation problems to explain how to translate. So this lecture is probably mostly going to be taking care of the different word translations, and that's a really important concept, a bunch of concepts to get in line. In fact, you probably should, from the notes, go ahead and print these things out because they will help you in your translation. So the first we're going to do is words that can mean addition. So over here is the list of the words. Here's a phrasing, and then this is what the algebraic expression looks like. Now, there's something in real numbers called the order of the operators, and we know that addition is commutative according to the properties of real numbers. And what that means is that no matter what order we put addition in, the answer is still the same. So there's technically a correct way and an incorrect way to translate some of these words, but we don't necessarily always think of them in that way because addition is commutative. So for instance, x plus 2 versus 2 plus x, they give you the same answer. So we don't get so particular about writing it one way or another. Now that commutative property doesn't exist for subtraction, and so we have to really watch that with subtraction, and you'll see that in a few minutes here. So the first word we have is sum. And so we see an example here, the sum of a number and 2. What you notice here is the sum is bold and the and is bold. The things that I'm trying to get you to see by bolding those two words is that this sum and then and work together to tell you what two numbers you're adding together. The and here can be replaced in an algebraic expression by the plus operator. So this tells us, the sum tells us which operator to put in, and the and tells us where to put that operator. So that's the translation. Now 5 more than translates to addition as well, but there's no and in this one. And so where the more than is, that's actually where we're going to put the addition symbol. More than, however, has this preposition in it, the word than, and than reverses the order of things. Prepositions, we got to be really careful of. Those things can really screw up order on things, and again, we'll see that down in subtraction. Added to is another word. Greater than, increased by, years older. Now the greater than and an increased by, the greater than and years older than, those three, the more than, greater than, and years older than, they all contain that preposition than. And so when you see the translations over here, then you're seeing the reversal of the order. Now let's go down and talk about subtraction, and that'll be where we'll run out of time here. So with subtraction, again, we have a bunch of words. This time order does matter when we're writing these things down because subtraction doesn't have that commutative property. And so what we are going to be worried about in that case is writing them in the correct order. So when we see that preposition, or those prepositions like than, and then also the word from being a preposition, we're going to see a reversal of order, and that has to translate into our expression. So let's go over the ones that have no worries. Difference than, diminished by, decreased by. All three of those, the order they come in is the order they come in. The first number we see, and then the and tells us the minus, and then the second number. But when we see years younger than, less than, you see that we have a reversal. 3 comes first, and then John, and John's age we're going to represent by an x here, so it says x minus 3, the reversal of the order. You see the same thing here with the decrease, or the less than, 17 less than some number. So it's the number first and then minus the 17. You'll see the same thing down here with subtracted from. You subtract some number from 51. You see the 51 comes first and then subtract the x. Really be careful of those when translating subtraction problems because they're very important. We'll discuss multiplication